the FT, and the F I'm thinking about isn't the one that says up there. Well, basically, not much in this at all. You've got the Royal Mail hit by strike vote over pensions. You see, because they don't actually work for government. They don't work for councils. They haven't got a golden handshake pension set up for them. But what they really need to be speaking to is JP Morgan, the owner of Royal Mail. Cabinet tensions rise as ministers defy Johnson's red line on Brexit. So now, at the moment, they're all against Johnson. And remember that for later on. Amazon braces for hefty Brussels bill to cover Luxembourg back taxes. What about the UK back taxes? Oh, we'll not mention them, eh? No, don't worry about that. Now we get on to what I said we'd get a load of yesterday. Absolute bull about the shooter. Inside the killer's lair from the Daily Fail. Oh, Daily Firrer. Daily Liar, more like, anyway. The Guardian, well, May, time for infighting over Brexit stop. Remember earlier, they were defying Johnson over this. And let's not forget, he's apparently now for Brexit, that non-existent thing, whereas before the vote, he was pro-Europe. So it's more lies and trying to keep you distracted, thinking that he's actually on your side. And here, this is the real reason for the false flag in Las Vegas. We'll be talking about gun laws. Trump, yes, because you caused the false flag, so you could take all the guns off them, and once you've disarmed them, then you can use the military to destroy the whole country, send them off to FEMA camps and execute them all. That's what it was all about. The Daily Fail. Posties threat to Christmas. It's the posties, they're the bad guys. They vote to strike and may hit festive online deliveries. Well, give them a decent pension, like all the bureaucrats that are doing no good for us whatsoever, but get golden handshakes and golden pensions at the end of it, even though they've caused all of us, every single one of us, misery. The Times. Stop fights and do your duty, mate, tell stories. Yeah. Because they're supposed to be screwing us a lot harder than they are. And then in this one, ethnic minorities better at social care. Well, that's because their family units haven't been destroyed by a criminal government and criminal councils, and they stick together. But again, this is all about divide and conquer, because they want you to go, they're not better than me. Well, I'm better than them. Divide and conquer, that's all that's about. Now, in that little right down the bottom there, this will shock you all. Living standards fall. Well, blow me over with a feather. Living standards have fall after they've ripped us off left, right and centre. You couldn't make this rubbish up. The Scum. Killing machine, because we want to hammer home that this was a single gunman, even though all the evidence proves to at least 3, possibly 4 shooters. But hey, don't worry about that. We'll just keep telling the masses there was a single shooter, and them dumbasses will believe it. The Daily Telegraph. The Boring Lion. Oh no, the Roaring Lion. No, actually, I think I got it right the first time. Again, down there in the corner, Las Vegas killer wired 100,000 to Philippines. I'm wondering if maybe he had, like in the assassination of Lee Harvey Oswald, maybe he had a terminal illness and they got paid off, sent that money to whoever he wants it to so they can get it, and then either, because there's 2 stories that I've heard so far, one, he shot himself, the other, the police shot him. I don't believe either. If I was going to hedge my bets, I would probably go for he was murdered before any of the shooting started, and then they're using him as a patsy, just like they did with Lee Harvey Oswald. The Daily, well, you can't call it an Express because it's so far behind. Again, attacking the posties. Go against the posties. Don't pay any attention to all the criminal activities happening in government. Don't forget. Don't worry about the paedophiles in Parliament. You concentrate on the posties because they're bad guys. Because look, Christmas post strike chaos. Well, you know what that means, don't you? We must bring some order out of chaos. Oh, that's the New World Order, isn't it, of course? Yeah. The Star, Daily Star. View to a kill. Now, is this There's them telling us it was the Secret Service that did this. For those that remember James Bond, he had a movie called View to a Kill. And maybe this is their way of telling us the Secret Service did this shooting. Now, whether anyone was injured or killed, I've no idea. I've not seen any evidence to back that up yet. All I've seen is the 59 shot, murdered and 500 injured. Well, I know for a fact, our hospital, in Nottingham, we've got the Queen's Medical Centre and we've also got the City. But even between them two big hospitals, they couldn't deal with 500 serious injuries at the same time. Just no way. So I'd love to see where all these 500 so-called injured actually went. And I'm not saying people didn't get shot and injured. I'm just saying I've seen no evidence so far. Over on the left there, Craig's so fabulous, darling. This is pushing the transgender agenda. And just below that, Bojo, I'm backing PM mate. Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn cotton picking minute. A minute ago, it was all, we're not paying any attention to Boris and he's a bad guy and divide and conquer. It becomes so obvious the more you look at this stuff. And the I, well, we know where the I comes from, don't we? Debt help for poorest students. University maintenance grants set to return as government seeks support for younger voters. In other words, they're trying to bribe younger voters. Education Secretary determined to tackle worrying levels of graduate debt. Return of grants will cost 500 million, warns IFS. Well, wait a minute. Just hold it there. How did they end up in all this debt in the first place? Oh yes, it was the loving, caring government who introduced the charges in the first place. Does this mean they made a mistake? Does this mean they're inept? Does this mean they're corrupt? Yes to all of the above. Metro. I'd blast Corbyn into orbit. Jez's space cadet, says Boris. Yeah, look at this guy. Would you trust this guy to look after your kid? Because I know I wouldn't. Would you trust him to run a corner shop? Not a chance. But this is just more divide and conquer bullshit. Remember, it's blue against red. We're the Conservatives, they're Labour, Lib Dems, whatever else it is. It's divide and conquer tactics all the way through, and that's all that's going on there. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce. And most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.